Today we're going to be talking about the Percy Jackson series that I read. It's a lot of books.
It's 5 books, but there are like other books that continue with this.
First name is Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief.
The second one is called The Sea of Monsters. The
The
third.
Lightning Skirts is the third.
Okay, the fourth one is called The Battle of the Labyrinth.
The Last Olympian is the fifth one.
So you read all the 5 books?
I did read all the 5
And
books.
Dur?
I read I read this one, that one, and that one, and I read a little bit of that one, but then I got a new book and I finished that one.
About what the books?
There's this kid named Percy Jackson who's a demigod, and he doesn't know that.
What
And
that mean?
A demigod, like his parents, like
Well, one of his parents,
his dad, and he's like his dad's name is Poseidon or Poseidon. He's the god of water, and if one of your parents is a god, then you're a demigod, and monsters try to hunt you down to kill you. And in the first book, Percy didn't know that, and his substitute math teacher, she wanted to kill him when she turned into a monster. But there's this guy named Chiron who was his teacher undercover, and he gave him a pen that turns into a sword, and he just somehow uncapped the pen, and then the sword grew, and then he stabbed the lady, his substitute teacher. He stabbed her, and then she died. But all monsters respawn in like the underworld or whatever you call it. Anyways, and he has like this stepdad whose name is
Gabe.
Gabe, yeah, I forgot his name because it's only in the first book.
He has that stepdad because he smells so bad.
He smells so bad, and it keeps the monsters from smelling Percy. His mom married him just because he smells super bad. But he's a terrible guy. Really bad. And then, like, eventually his mom wanted to leave Gabe at home, and she wanted to take Percy to this
Long Island.
It's to a beach somewhere. And they stayed in a
cabin.
Yeah, they stayed in the cabin at the beach. But then Percy's best friend, his name was Grover, and he's a satyr.
He's half goat, half human.
Yeah.
His legs are goat legs, and he has horns growing out of
He wants to go to search his license because every satyr needs to find demigods and bring them to this place called Camp Half-Blood where they get to train and they're safe from monsters. So that Grover guy, like he wants to get this thing called a searcher's. I keep forgetting what it's called. It was the one.
Searcher's license or something. I don't know what it's
something
called.
like that. And the only people that can give him it are the Cloven Elders, who are big fat satyrs who are very old. And well, Grover, he comes to the door and says that he wants to bring him to Camp Half-Blood. And when he gets out of his cabin, there's a centaur who's a centaur that was gonna chase him out when
a centaur.
A centaur! Alright, anyways, he's gonna chase him out, but his mom knew that he had a demigod.
They call them Half-Blood
Yeah.
because there's this camp called Camp Half-Blood
Yeah,
where all
so
demigods
cool.
can be safe.
Anyways, she started driving him there, and then he thought that his mom died because of the centaur.
It's called a centaur.
It sounds like
It's a half horse, half man.
That centaur looked like he killed Percy's mom, but he didn't. She just morphed into sparkles, and then she went to the underworld, and Percy wanted to bring her back, but he couldn't. And so then he went to Camp Half-Blood because he was very injured. He got away from the centaur.
It was a minotaur.
Don't care. Anyways, he broke the minotaur's horn, and then he stabbed him with his own horn, and then the minotaur died, and then Percy was very injured then, and then he ran to the Half-Blood place, and then he just fainted when he got there, and then this guy named Chiron picked him up, and then when he woke up, there was this girl feeding him.
Yeah, you're ruining everything for the people who want to read it.
Okay, so don't tell everything. It's how many pages each book?
Okay, let's
Around 300. The
Each
first
one?
book's the longest.
Yeah. And can you show how the pages looks like?
They're like
Very thin.
Yeah, okay.
Alright, the first book is 375 pages. Well, it ends at that.
The second is 279 pages.
Wow.
The third book is 312.
So the fourth is
The last one
361
doesn't say
How much time took you to read the books?
a week.
or two.
A week.
For each book?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I wasn't reading much. Like when I was reading this one and that one, I was reading. So it took me about 2 weeks.
The Lost Year is the one that I'm missing.
Oh, there's additional
the
one?
381, the most pages actually.
Oh yeah. So when you put all the books next to each other in the correct order, it makes a picture.
The thing is, this one seems longer, the first book, but it's only because the acknowledgements or whatever, they're much longer. This one has the most pages, the last.
And then
Oh yeah, they connect
and
this
then
way.
if you
Alright, I wanna do it. I wanna do it.
They connect in the other way so that
Like
when you
what?
put it on your bookshelf, it looks nice.
Because, Percy, water.
So do you recommend it for kids to read?
I do.
Sure. I did. Well,
It's not
I
violent.
sort of wasn't interested in reading the fourth book because I just didn't feel like reading that.
It's so
But-
weird. The person who wrote it is
I read part
the
of it.
person who wrote it is called Rick Riordan, and he looks like one of those cool beach old dudes. It doesn't show the picture here for some reason, but
It shows it on Trials of Apollo.
the one that
Like it shows it on the hardcover version.
lazy.
Is it a scary book?
No.
No. If you're scared though, the fourth one, I would not consider reading this one if you're scared of things. But I had a dream about it. It's scarier at the end when you get to it.
I never got to the end. I got to the middle.
Around
but
here, it gets scarier.
I got.
And then the end is scary. Oh, but anyways, the best cliffhanger is book 2. Book 2 is the best
What's that?
cliffhanger.
I'm Thalia, the daughter of Zeus.
From 1 to 10, how much you give it?
Here's the thing, I'd sort of give it an 8.5. I mean, I didn't read the whole series. The fourth book, it got kind of boring in the middle.
Joseph?
9.5.
I just give it to 0 because I never read it.
9.5.
Well,
Okay, guys, subscribe.